Hey, what's up, guys? I have a my Entrek Badger here, clipped to my pants. I'm still doing some some field work with it, some testing of it. By the way, this has not been sharpened. I originally did a lot of woodwork. I only filmed maybe, I don't know, 40% or so, a little bit less than half of what I was testing. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a gist of what it looked like. Then I did my video on the knife in use in the kitchen, doing some, I guess, finer cutting with some food, and that was not resharpened or touched up or anything. It's just the same edge, after all that woodwork. And I still didn't touch it up, and actually I want to do a little bit more batoning for you. I got a pair of gloves here. These are cheapo, like $3 pair of gloves you can get from any hardware store. This is what I use sometimes in the wintertime. But I want to do a little batoning with this. I want to get a feel for it with gloves on, because, in the wintertime, obviously you're going to be wearing gloves. It's going to be a little differently handling it than you would barehanded. So I want to first off, again, try it with some gloves on, and I also want to baton through a piece of processed wood. It's a little bit harder to baton through something that's been processed. Now, what I mean by processed, I have a piece of wood here that is pressure treated. Okay, this actually used to be a plank from the dock, my grandfather's, little dock we have in the pond. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to baton through this a little bit and see how it works out. I have somewhere around here. Oh, here we go. This is just a piece of birch, I think red birch, that I'm going to use for my batoning stick. So here we go. Just going to give you a little testing. Let me make sure I'm in frame here. Let me actually turn the camera up a little bit and move it a little bit here so I make sure I get all this in frame. And kind of stick my stick out there so I know where to go. And let's try to baton through this. So again, the thickness on this board is 3/4, or actually, I'm sorry, it's 1 inch thick, and the blade just barely is going to go all the way through it. But let's try it. Get a nice even spot in the ground here, and try to baton through this. Let me give you a sideways view. Alright, now you can see there's not a whole lot of blade here to work with, so I'm going to have to try to be a little bit more accurate with my swings, but we'll see if we can do it. Alright, not so bad. Let's try it again. Get a better grip of my batoning club here. Alright, broke that. Still got some club to work with, so. Alright, so there's another split on it. Let's go again. And then we'll check out, see what kind of damage we got, if any. It's hard because I don't have anything really sticking out here, so let's wiggle this blade out a little bit and position it a little better. Alright, there we go. Let's try this piece again. First, let's check for damage here. There's absolutely no damage to the edge at all. When I take my gloves off, I can feel a little better, but I can definitely see that. No damaging. The tip's fine, the edge is fine. Like I said, I haven't sharpened this at all. When I finally do the tabletop review on this knife, I'll get in close to my magnifying glass and show you that edge. So let's try this one more time. I'll give you this angle here. Alright, so there we go. Got a couple nice cuts. Try to go nice and thin on this. Nice pieces here. Go even thinner. Assuming that we're doing this for, let's say, firewood. Obviously, you want a nice selection of different size pieces. So split this down even further. And we're getting nice thin pieces out of this. Split it down even more. So obviously, if you wanted to, you could easily baton with this. So that's one good thing about this. The reason this batons so well, and I knew it would baton so well, is because it is thick. Big, thick spine. It acts like a wedge. The thicker stock you have on your knife, the more it's gonna, or the more easily it's gonna split that wood, because it's just wedging in. So no surprise to me. I knew it would be a good knife to split with. And as you see there, you can break down your wood for one large piece to lots of little skinny pieces like this. I have to say though, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the one thing this knife lacks, because of that thickness, is slicing ability. I mean, it still slices fine when it's nice and sharp, but being thicker, that's one thing you're going to have to give up, is that really good slicing capability. So there's a lot of things I want to say right now, especially with using this with the gloves versus barehanded, but I really want to save it for the review. So let me actually just take off my glove here and see if I can feel the edge. Give you a little field demo here. Still feels pretty sharp. I don't feel any real dull areas. I can definitely see there's no rolling or chipping or anything in the edge. Let me do the old thumbnail test. Well, it's grabbing there. It's grabbing there. Peeling the enamel off. It's a little bit dull. A little bit dull. I gotta raise the angle. Whoop. I'm retarded. I'm not even on screen there. On the front here, I have to raise the angle a little bit more. So it's getting a little bit dull on the tip there. That might have been from stabbing into the tree. But so far, still very impressive. I'll have the tabletop review pretty soon. Again, I just want to do a little bit more field testing. What you guys don't realize is that on pretty much every single knife I've ever showed you, I do field testing. I do all kinds of testing. I just don't really show it on videos. But obviously it's a crowd pleaser, so I'll show it more often in the future, especially with my Foley knives. People ask me, what do you use a knife for? I mean, I get an honest question every day. What can you possibly use a knife for? And as most of you guys who watch my videos know, there's a million things you can use a knife for day in and day out. It doesn't matter what kind of environment you're in, whether you're in an office or the middle of the woods. There's always something, used for a blade. And as time goes on, I'll show more and more of that in my videos. So anyway, Entrek Badger. Still, like I said, an impressive little knife. So tabletop review coming hopefully soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.